check. All right, so all the right buttons are checked. Let me just make sure that this is actually working now. Still says upcoming. I don't know. Currently live, maybe live. Let's double check. All right, cool. So it's live. All right, I'll close out of that, I think. All right, cool. So, hey, yeah, day two trading on the combine in the quest to buy a house by the end of 2024. And I'm looking at this market all morning long. Nothing. I mean, huge nothing burger. This thing has just been consolidating like crazy. Honestly, we're about to hit this upper channel. Just now started to see some action. And this is where I'm liking it. I don't like that it crossed over this 600 moving average. And in correlation over here on the hour chart, you can see it's kind of breaking out of the channel. So because we've retouched, I'm going to sit here and see if this continues to consolidate here at the 600, bringing everything up. Or I might take a short position here if this 1 minute candle breaks down. So if this 1 minute chart here on this side starts to kind of tailor off and we start to kind of see some weakness built in here, I might take a little bit of a short down to the 600 on the 1 minute chart. But you can kind of see yesterday we took this bounce here off this new channel, downtrend channel that's forming, got out here, kind of missed all this, but we got what we wanted. Made the $600 yesterday. Today, it just looks like a major consolidation. Nothing's really moving it. I mean, we had, let's see, I believe we had jobless games today. What did we have? Some news came out around 8. Yeah, that was the Denmark stuff. We had ADP at 8:15. Jobless claims at 8:30, and none of this really is pushing anything. So at 9:45, a bunch of the oil stuff came in and pushed the stock, started going up. So that was 9:45 I'm looking at. And then tomorrow's big. Tomorrow's PMI, non-farm payrolls. I think everything's just consolidating here until we see what's going on tomorrow. So I imagine we're not going to see big moves like we did yesterday. So I'm going to just try and take some small things that are going to be bouncing around today. Just try and grab my 200 and get out. Let's see. Oil should be headed down. Yeah, see. So oil got bad news. Oil got bad news. It's breaking back up here, starting to curl down. So this, I don't like this here on oil. This 1 hour chart here from yesterday went up. I think we're about to curl down. That's going to drive the market back up. On the Dow companies, NQ. So I know Apple is kind of crap on the bed today. So yeah, some bigger moves over on NQ. This is looking kind of interesting here. Let's see what's going on. Some massive consolidation and a move up. I don't see anything that is actually confirmation. I don't like this. I don't like this crossover on NQ, cross the 1 hour's cross the 600 moving average. I'm not a fan of that. It did hit a resistance point, a 1 hour resistance band, but this could cause it to start moving back up, which could drive all the rest of the markets back up. ES is probably following suit. Yeah, so ES is starting to come up. We're getting a little break of structure here on 1 hour. Possible crossover, but that's kind of what happened over here as well. You saw this kind of like break of structure and then a free fall. But that was early in the morning. So yeah, I think we might see some upside momentum. Let's get back over to the Dow companies, the YM. All right, so yeah, I'm not very comfortable with this trade. So over here on a 1 hour chart, I'm gonna delete this stupid arrow now. On the 1 hour, you can see this channel that's created as a downward channel, and it's been respecting it pretty good for the last 3 or 4 days. However, yesterday we had that solid bounce. Today we're poking over it. So this is either going to create a new little top here, which is going to create more of an inline channel, or it's going to come up and hit this midterm moving average, this mid-range moving average on the spaghetti models. And if that's the case, I'll take my short there for sure, because that is in line with this new channel that's forming. However, this is looking pretty good. That's touching the channel and pushing down. I'm gonna take a small short here, actually. That is what we're going to do. We're going to take a short position with a stop just above that range. So I'm going to set a stop somewhere up here, 490 or 942, somewhere in that range. Let's go and get the trade in. See if this pushes back up for a second. What I want to see is this 1 minute chart right here. I want to see this. I want to say this 1 minute charts. I want to see a break of this before I'm confident getting into it. Otherwise, it's going to sit here and just ping back and forth. Let's see what's going to happen here. Give it a moment. Let the trade come to us. Let the trade come to us. Keep it coming. So this is where we're just proving out. I'm trying to increase the conviction of my trade here. So I like this top. This is a part of that channel. I think that it can bounce down and start trailing off and fade for the rest of the day. I think that's a pretty strong possibility. But if we start breaking through these channels, especially if we on the YM, if we start touching 7930s, if we start pushing past this, then we're definitely finding that bull rally again. So that it looks like the buyers love this thing. This is a lot of FOMO coming into the market right now. So yeah, so this is, I want it, but I can't do it unless I get this confirmation here. Because this is what's going to happen. It's going to get squeezed out. All these people from yesterday are just about to get squeezed out. We're going to end up with one of these all day freaking bull rallies. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So we're now above that channel on the 1 hour. So if I blow this 1 hour chart up, let's just take a look real quick. Get rid of this. So here we go. So here's the last month and a half. So you can just see just been a lot of upward momentum, some big news days that have moved the market like crazy, but still this market just wants to keep going up. And so taking any kind of short position at this point in time is just not what I want to do. But you've got this strong downward channel, and I think that we might end up touching right here. So we might end up touching this midterm moving average on the 1 hour. You gotta be kidding me with this stupid trade of 8 stuff. Like, what was that all about? I'm logged in, and then I got this. So let's do this real quick. Actually, let's do this. Because I don't know if it's going to show my password, and I need to make sure that doesn't happen. So we're going to go full screen for a second. You can check out Francis. He's right here. He is my trading guru for the day. Actually, he's my trading guru for 2024. All right, we are back in. Just so you can see it. So we're still using account number 398, and again, the market is still going on. So this is a 1 hour chart that we were just talking about, and this is that trend line that I really wanted to keep respecting this, because I think we're going to come up here and some point in time in the next 2 or 3 days, possibly PMI might break it tomorrow, or non-farms. That data is probably going to flush us so that we continue this and meet up with the 600. Which is honestly what this chart has been wanting to do since it got crazy overextended. I mean, look how far away we've been from 600 moving average forever last year. So we're at a point here where we've definitely started curling off, and I think this just might be a massive consolidation zone. So we might actually end up here um, between here and this top, we might end up these just might be some like ridiculous. This might be a consolidation area for the next. I'll keep these up because we might just see, the next 3 weeks of this consolidation until earnings is over. A lot of volatility up and down here, and then once the 600 moving average has a little bit of time to catch up to that, right here. So let's just kind of draw a future forecast line. So check this out. That looks pretty solid. So this would be January 9th. A possible touch by January 9th. So possible low here by January 9th. That's a possibility. Somewhere in this range is going to be our low. And then a continuation back up to the new highs to retest the high sometime over here around the 24th. So this is kind of where we're at, unless something really crazy or some news breaks this market to where something changes. This is what I'm looking at for a pretty solid strategy to guide my next couple trades. Is next 3 or 4 days staying in this channel, meeting up somewhere in this zone actually, because that's going to be even better. So I think we're going to move this over here. So this is a great area. Check this out. So sometime here between the 9th and the 11th, maybe carrying over on that Monday, we are going to find ourselves with this low and this channel meeting itself in this zone right here. That market is going to fade down to this zone. We're going to take a buy, and it'll probably come up here and retest highs before deciding what it wants to do for the rest of 2024. This is going to correlate. Yep. So the end of the month, end of January, we are going to know whether or not the 2024 market is going to continue up or go down. Otherwise, I have a feeling this January 9th, that Friday, or this is Wednesday. This is going to be Thursday the 11th or Wednesday the 10th. One of those 2 days is going to be a deciding factor for us. Right now, we're just going to let earnings and PMI and all the news data push us around until we stay in this channel. But it's looking good right now. All right, so let's go back to the... I'm going to go back here to the 5-minute chart. Yeah. Dang. I should have taken that trade, huh? I still like it. I still think it has room to come back up. It's still trading here in this in this zone. So I think if I take this, we still could see some bounce. But this is what I'm looking at right over here on the 1 minute. This is what I was looking for confirmation of this trade. So now we're just going to sit here and see if there's some continuation. This is going to be down here. Yeah, so let's go and get this trade ready. I'm going to go ahead and sell. We're going to sell 2 at a stop, and we're going to have a really tight stop. We're just going to do 2 contracts on this because, again, right now we're looking at a bounce off of a resistance, or actually like a top, a reversal. And I'm going to take that trade. So we've got about $500 that we can lose on this trade. I'm hoping that we push back through, come down here. That's my plan. This is a pretty good trade. I mean, this is a reversal trade. So like I said, 2 contracts. I don't want to do anything more than 2 contracts because this could reverse here, bounce up, and continue to push. And I don't want to be out of the money that far if it decides to come up here and then continue. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that we're going to come back down here and consolidate. after the news with the oil news, but this is where we're at right now. So we'll let this play out for a little bit. It's still looking good on the 1 minute. Let's close this trade out. All right, so here's the trade. You've got this clear channel that's happening on the 1 minute. This is where the trade is based off of. If you can take a look here, let's go ahead and make this a little bigger. So you got this 3-day downward trend channel. We came up here. It touched, didn't quite get all the way where I wanted it to go. I wanted it to come up here into the 930s. This is where I wanted it to be before I took my trade, but it looks like everybody started selling before that, so it didn't quite get the steam to get there. It might bounce here off of 856 and push back up to touch before coming back down. But I'm hopeful that we push back down and consolidate again with all of this mess that's happened. So that's kind of where we're the trade. We got $60. I'm inclined actually right now just to take 40 or take 60 and just kind of slow play this. Kind of do a little bit of scalping because I just don't trust this market right now with all the data. It's seemingly low volume. I haven't checked, but it's seemingly pretty low volume, pretty low price action. There's not a lot of volatility. This move needs to clear itself out and come back down, but it might sit here and just ping pong here for the rest of the day, let all of these moving averages come up, and just be a long day of watching screens, and I am not a fan of that. So we'll see. I'm gonna give this a couple more 5-minute candles and see what happens. But like I said, I might end up cutting this short. I might just take $50, $60, $70 and call it a successful trade and just kind of accumulate the money I want to make today slowly. We'll see what happens here. See if we can break a structure. So on this 5-minute candle, you've got this wick test on a, yeah, come on. We'll see what happens if it closes here. Here we go. Push. Push. So on the 1 minute, it's looking solid, which means that it's looking like it wants to come down here. But if that's the case, a VWAP retest seems like it's the best case scenario here, best probable spot for this price action to go to. So we've got a confirmation, a crossover confirmation is about to happen here in 19 seconds. We've got a possible reversal area. It is slowly pushing down, and a good trade strategy on the 1 hour. Let's see what happens. Next candle, and there it is. All right, good. So I like that. So now we actually broke a structure on the 5-minute. That gives me a little bit more confidence to stay in this trade for a little bit longer, even if it kind of reverses a little bit. We now kind of have started some new structure, headed back down to consolidate. So I think that we're probably good to go to end up here in the like 815. Maybe retest this support level at 809. Yeah, there's not a lot of meat on the bones here. The price action is just so slow, man. It's like this is boring, man. About to be 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Honestly, the only reason why I'm trading right now is just to kind of show some of the strategy work and what's going on. Typically today, I would wait, like in my live account. I'm gonna wait fully until this 1 hour crossover confirmation flushes itself out, because even though we're up here testing this, I know we want to get a little bounce back down to consolidate my VWAP. These moving averages might want to just continue straight up through here. So even though we just showed on the strategy that we're going to come down, maybe test the 600, like I said, this could just be one of those back and forth consolidation weeks where it just sits here and does this all day, all week long, all day long, and doesn't really actually move. It just kind of back and forth. Like these candles here, you get caught up in these 5-minute candles, and it looks like it's coming down here, and it ends up, you know, wicking back up here and closing and settling. Like these are awful to trade. All of this bar coding is just awful to trade. Just it's a mess. So here would be 8:30s. We got 50 seconds for a new candle. So we got a new candle closing here. That's going to bring this moving average here up a little bit. So we'll see if it can get through. It might bounce here and just stop. So like I said, this thing is moving so slow. I got nothing. I don't like these back-to-back candles here. This right here, this is weak. This tells me that it's going to want to sit here and just chop and consolidate for the rest of the day. Come on. So this 1-minute candle here, so the 1-minute chart, I've got a clear crossover, but this weakness tells me that we're about to fall into some consolidation patterns. And what I don't want is for this to not actually touch and for it to consolidate here and this moving average meet it and then continue up. That's what I don't want. So I'm watching this carefully to see what happens. This is looking pretty weak, especially over here on a 5-minute chart. This looks like a pretty clear test off the 600 moving average, which means that we're probably gonna have to cut a loss here because I do not like being in red at all. It does not make me happy, so we might cut this thing quick. If we get another 5-minute break of structure, it comes up here and pushes past or beyond this last 5-minute candle, then at that point in time, it won't be doing what I expect it to. And usually when a trade doesn't do what I expect it to, or what it doesn't continue doing what I am anticipating, that's the point in time when I just trust my gut and get out. I've done strategy tests, especially here with TOPSTEP. I've done strategy tests where I will just let this ride. I will let this thing ride out, knowing that we've got a pretty strong resistance here. So there we are. That's $100 down. I'm going to cut bait now. Don't like it. That's a reversal. So yeah, it's a $130 loss. Not happy about that. But that's what happens. So, you know, the issue that we've got is on the 5-minute, just a lot of just crap chop all day long. You've got this big move. This big move needs to come back down, clear itself out, or you've got a lot right now where you see these consolidations and then these giant moves, consolidations, giant moves. And I was used to that kind of trading like 2020. You saw a lot of that stuff happening where you had these like, 2-3 day consolidation patterns and then just a monster move. The last year hasn't necessarily been that way. It's been more just kind of like trade the news and then follow the reactions, and it's been a little bit more predictable, especially with these moving averages. But when we start seeing these things bunch up like this is the point in time where it's high risk trading, because when you're trading a dynamic resistance and support strategy like I do, I rely on divergence of these bands. So when they're really tight like this, then all I can think of is that they're trying to gravitate back towards this 600 and then get into an even longer consolidation pattern. So on a 5-minute chart intraday, these bands are going to want to always gravitate towards this 600, make a move, create a divergence. Then I can trade that divergence, or I can trade the runoff, the momentum into the divergence. Mostly that creates a separation of those bands, and that separation of those bands allows me to create those support resistance and create my levels at which I'm going to take my trades. So when it's really close together, there's two things that are happening. One, you've got consolidation, and two, we're getting gravity towards a bigger or longer term resistance band, which you can kind of see fleshing out here too. Everything, all these are wanting to consolidate back in the 1 hour as well. Yep. All right, so I don't know if I'm going to take another trade, and see, there you go. Now it's reversing back down, coming back down to where I wanted it to go. But I'm not going to risk that, because this could just be that long consolidation tail and I don't want to watch this thing all day. So I might I might just close out the $150 loss, $130 loss, and just bail on today because tomorrow is when the real news happens. We'll see. Man, that's the trade. Come on, this is gonna come all the way down here. I'm gonna miss that trade. That's fine. I'm not gonna FOMO into this thing. Not gonna FOMO into it. I want to so bad, but I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna sit here and just gonna sit here around this 600 moving average. It's gonna trick you. It's gonna do some kind of weird, fake breakout over here. It might even come down to the VWAP on the 1 minute chart. But these right here. So you got a midterm, right? So it's not a short term. The short term are the white and the gray. Short term moving averages, which are support and resistance levels. And you've got a midterm, these red on the 1 hour, which are a midterm moving average. There's support and resistance on the midterm. And then my yellow lines here, or my bigger levels, are these horizontal lines. These are all long term support and resistance levels. So I use those to kind of know where the price action is going. But these dynamic levels, especially on a 1 hour chart, this is not. These are telling two different tales, right? So on a 1 hour chart with a short term and a long term resistance bands, these things are trying to converge, right? So they're trying to come back together and meet and consolidate before they decide to go. What you want is these things to splay out, so stack on top of each other. If they're not stacking on top of each other, you've got the 1 hour chart telling you one story, which is an upward momentum with a heavy stop somewhere in this area. And then you've got the 5 hour or the 5 minute chart just saying, hey, everything's moving on its way up. And then you've got this support and resistance here on the 1 minute chart that's just saying, hey, look, currently right now we are still in an upward momentum. You've got the short term, but the mid range is on its way up. So all likelihood, even though I wanted to take that FOMO short, this story right now is still very bullish. And as you can see right now, that's a bounce off and a continuation of the bullish trend. So I could have FOMO'd into this, and that's where you lose your money, or you lose more of your money. So I'm still waiting because honestly, I think that's the end of the day. I think I'm gonna have to wait until power hour before I do anything. I might not come back on live for that. I might just record it and post it later if I take another trade. But I just don't feel confident in this. I mean, if this can come up here, touch this, and then I start to see kind of some consolidation on its way down off this trend, which is this 1 hour trend. If you're just now watching this, like, you've got this new channel. If this thing comes up here, it's going to hit this upper band. It's also going to hit the top of this new channel. And if I see a hard resistance and it kind of sits there and consolidates, I might take a short on that and deal with it. But it's still pretty risky because you have this new top, right? So if you all of a sudden get a little bit of bullish momentum and it pushes through, you're going to get every single freaking retail trader and their mom trading futures market thinking we're about to enter into another massive bull rally, and they're going to push this thing up and it's going to retest up here. So you take a short here thinking that's the smart short, but then you get trapped on a squeeze. It comes up here again, and that you just don't want to do that stuff. So all of the trading right now today is pretty risky because we're trading right in the middle of this channel, and it hasn't been very decisive. You've got the 5 minute chart here saying it wants to continue up. So until I start seeing some kind of weakness curve like this on the 5 minute, this market looks like it's still headed upwards. And that's for me. I can't trust that. That's been my biggest crux to 2023 is I don't trust all the bullish momentum. I still see a weak economy. I still see weak numbers. I still see people spending on credit cards. And for me, I look at trading something like this, and I have to still have a short bias because I just can't believe that our economy is this strong, at least in the stock market. Yo, I need some drinks. Here we go. I need to do something with the chat. That's what I need to do. Got it. All right, I think I have my chat turned on again. I'm still new to live streaming, so I have no idea if there are other places where people are responding. But right now, I've just basically got the YouTube channel open, and I can see the top chat box over here. So if you have a question or you're interested in what's going on, or you just want to share something, feedback, just tell me that I'm an idiot and don't know how to trade. At least I'll know that there's living human beings in this live stream, and that'd be kind of interesting. All right, so here's the bullish momentum. Yep, so this is going to continue up. This is all going to continue up. We might see some kind of curve happen up here, but for now, we can just watch the momentum go up because I do not want to take anything long right now, especially. So we've got 1, 2, 3 solid legs up today on a 5-minute chart. Pretty confident bull rally here today on the 1 hour chart, and I'm looking at 11 a.m. Eastern time for some kind of consolidation or sell-off or just rebalancing of accounts. Euro is going to close at 11:30 today Eastern time, so the London session is going to close itself out sometime around here. So that would make sense if we started to see. Let's see if we do a marker flag. Let's call something right now. So here's my call: 11:35. So my call is that here at 11:10 or 11:15, right here, we're going to touch that upper channel and get a reversal. We'll see if that happens. That's my, let's just go ahead and call it a zone or a target. Because I think that's where we're at. That's what I think is going to happen. So let's do this actually. Let's redo, so the flag's on top. Zone is here. That's going to be 11:15. Top of the channel. This price action is going to come up here. We're going to take a short position somewhere in, whoa, hello, somewhere in this zone right there. And I believe that that's going to happen right here, 11:15. All right, that looks better. Cool. All right, so there, now you go. Now you know for sure. That's the call. That's my call for the next 30 minutes to an hour. I think that we're going to consolidate. See this 5-minute chart come right up here. We're going to touch that. That's going to be the Euro close zone. We're going to look to take a short position here after Euro close. So that is something we're just going to sit here and watch, because I'm not going to trade this on its way up unless we see a bounce. So the other trade that we can take here, so this right now is the zone we're looking for. This is going to be that Euro close zone and a reversal. The other zone that we could take a long here is if this price action comes down and touches one of the short-term moving averages on the 5-minute chart. This could be just kind of a continuation. So in like equities trading, so if you're trading penny stocks and things like that, they call it the first pullback. So the first pullback on an hour, first pullback on a 5-minute, or first pullback on a 1 minute, whichever you're trading. A lot of the times when you have a big initial move like this, you'll get a pullback consolidation to a moving average or a level, a Fibonacci line, whichever one you're using. You'll get that first kind of pullback, and then you'll get the continuation up. So that would be another good trade, is for us to see some kind of pullback to here and then a continuation up into the 1230 zone, and not actually hit here at 1130. So right now you're seeing this consolidation on a 5-minute chart. This right here, in my opinion, is Euro traders closing their positions, trying to consolidate, rebalance their sheets before they exit for the day. That's what we've got going on. So I imagine we're going to sit here and consolidate until this touches up here, or we hit this upper channel, and then we'll see the actual move for the day, which in my opinion is going to be back downward after we hit that top end of the zone. I don't think that we're going to continue. I don't think that we're going to continue up today. If we continue up today, then that's just, that is what traps me all 2023 is the move past that. And do we have anything coming up for? Let me check real quick. So on the economic calendar here, let's see if I can. Economic calendar says that we are, nope. So we got another release. So we still have all this crude oil rates, and we actually have a couple bill auctions and a mortgage right here at 12. So this is what's driving our consolidation and our momentum. Today, it's just it's just a slow drip of freaking news all day long today. And honestly, I don't think we're going to see anything until power hour. I think sometime afternoon, when everybody gets back from lunch, we're going to start seeing the actual move. I think that we're kind of trapped here for the day. And then tomorrow we got for Euro, 5 a.m. inflation rate, Italy. So these might be good to trade early, 7 a.m. And then tomorrow's the big day. I mean, you got unemployment for Canada, you've got non-farms for us, you've got manufacturing payrolls that are going to come out. Those are going to be big this year going into the first of 2024. And then you've got PMI. That's going to move the market considerably. And then you've got a bunch of Fed chairs speaking. So you got this that could move something, could change something based on what they say. But honestly, we're past FOMC. There's not much that they can say to change what's happened. So let's go back to Trading View. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. This 1 minute chart is going to continue. You can see this. So a lot of people knock moving average, knock trend lines, and they're like, hey, you got to be trading volume profiles. You got to be trading, whatever. You got to be trading inflow, outflow, or you got to be trading options volumes to really get a depiction. And honestly, I don't care about any of that. I look at the trading calendar because it lets me know when a possible landmine's coming, why something might be consolidating. But here we go. So the spaghetti models almost never lie. Every once in a while, it gives me a false reading, and we get that wicked hurricane that comes up through Miami and ends up tearing everything up. But almost always, as Mike the weather guy says, the spaghetti models, they just don't lie, man. They tell the whole picture. And when you use multiple time frames, using an hour, a 5 minute, a 1 minute, an hour, a 30 minute, and a 5 minute, however you want to set yours up for how you trade, when you set up your moving averages correctly and you get a very clear picture of what's happening with volume and a MACD, and also your moving averages on a long-term, a short-term, and a mid-term, and you can correlate those across the board, this is going to tell you the picture of what's going to happen. The only thing that comes after that is deciding when you're going to take your entry exits and having a plan to do that. So right now we have that plan. That plan is for this to come up here, touch this point, which we know it needs to at some point in time before it can cool off. So it needs to come up, touch this upper channel, and then we'll probably take a short position with a very tight stop so we don't get railroaded into a squeeze for the pullback down to this 600. And this 600 looks like it is where the market wants to be. Let's come out here. So the 600 moving average here is on the 5 minute chart, on any chart, but on the 5 minute chart particularly, is gravity. So this is the center of the stock market solar system. People use all kinds of indicators, and for me, the 5 minute chart, 600 moving average, 600 moving average on a close. This right here is the gravity of the stock market. Anytime you get a convergence or a divergence or a big move, it always wants to find this 600 move average over the course of a day or a couple days. That's just the story. I mean, you can see every single time this, it's constantly, it goes, does its move, and it wants to reconsolidate here. Does its move, wants to come back and consolidate. It's always wanting to come back to and meet this. So when you get a big divergence like we did yesterday, look at this move. This move, you know that it wants to come back and wait. So instead of getting the move back up and the continuation to touch, right, we ended up with this kind of consolidation move all day, low volume. And so instead of it moving up, we're waiting for the line to come back down. This means that we're going to stay in a long-term downtrend, because instead of coming up and pushing momentum forward, we're actually pulling this line down with us. The more we consolidate down at these levels, the more that 600 moving average and the gravity of the market is going to draw down with us. Nonetheless, man, today's a patience game. I am 10:46. I've got to be done trading here. There's just been no opportunity for my trading strategy. If you have maybe you trade something different and you have a different trading strategy, you saw all the opportunity this morning. For me, that has not happened. What happened to my 1 hour here? This is just the longest waiting game, man. Come on. This is the zone. We need it to hit the zone. I don't know if you saw the short today, too. So if you are... Let me see if I can do this. Check this out, actually. I'm going to put something... I'm going to put my my affiliate code in the chat. So that link there in the chat is a link to sign up for a TOPSTEP combine. If you are not trading futures on the combine, I'm a partner with them, so I have an affiliate code that helps out. It says error, try again. So not sure what's going on here, but let's try it one more time. If you get that link, so that link right now, if you click on that link, it's just going to take you to TOPSTEP to get a trading combine. If you use the code New Year 2024, New Year 2024, New Year 2024, they have combines right now for $74. So if you are one of the kinds of people that constantly just want to reset or fail or just don't want to have a expensive combine, that's the one for you. It is 100% worth it to go and get one of those, and then you can just back test as long as you want and just keep resetting. We are so close to hitting this goal, and I don't want to be here right now watching this whole thing, but in order to get the video, you gotta stay on and talk to yourself. Let's do this while we're waiting. Actually, let's do this. I'll introduce you to Francis. Let's do a tour of my crazy office. How about that? Full screen. This is my home office. So if you haven't seen it, how do I get here? These things right here, all these guys, these are like toy Formula One cars. They're like old school 1920s, 1930s Formula One racers. We got a couple hot air balloons, bunch of trophies. Down here are all my books, and this is actually this piece of art right here is actually pretty rad. This is it's a Pinocchio piece by Robin van Arsdal. He's a graffiti artist that's been well known. He's shown all over New York and the Louvre, all over London and Italy and Germany. Graffiti artist. He was like the early predecessor to any of like the new cool trendy street art that had a political slant on it. And the Pinocchio painting actually is one of those paintings that he started doing the Screaming Man guy, turned it into a Pinocchio. The Pinocchio is actually one of those paintings that it basically resembles man's propensity to exaggerate or inflate or tell a story. So um, you can tell a story of, the fish was this big, or we went 190 miles an hour. Like uh, our 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 pro, our ability to exaggerate, our need, our incessant want to tell something just a little bit bigger than what the story actually is. This is actually a reminder to not do that. The Pinocchio painting is an ode to the little man inside of us that wants to always like puff up its chest and tell the bigger story, or exaggerate the profits, or tell everybody how great they're doing when they're not. And it's just a constant reminder for me to be transparent, be honest, show your work, stay the course, be a good steward. I love this painting. I'm so glad that I picked that thing up. It's gone up in value quite a bit since I got it. And then right here in front of us, this is Francis. Francis, this is I don't know what they are. I think they're Beanie Babies, or TY, tiny. I mean, so this guy, Francis, he's actually one of the dudes. He's one of the dudes that my kids put on my desk to keep me company when I'm recording. Still nothing going on. Still nothing going on. I mean, it's just like this slow, miserable tick up to our zone that we set. Here we go. All right, so this might be a little bit of proof here. Let's see what happens. So on the 1 minute chart, so we've got a little bit different move. So we're coming into 11 a.m. and we're starting to get a little bit of a break of structure, a retest. And this is some weakness here in the 1 minute. So this is looking like a little bit of weakness down here. So either we're going to get another one of these candles and it's going to continue up to our zone, or we might start seeing a little bit more of a sell-off early into Euro close. So we're roughly 6 minutes now away from Euro close. My hope is that we would sell or buy and keep pushing this rally up here and then come down. But what we might see here is a little bit of a sell-off down here into the 11 o'clock, possibly even a push down into Euro close here as people over in London are selling off, and then another rally after everybody closes their computer screens over there. We'll get the continuation of the New York session that's going to push up. So I still believe that we're going to hit this channel sometime today, have a really hard touch of this upper trend line, and continue back down here over the next couple days. So in the long-term thing, I don't know if you saw this, but here's the 1 hour chart, and here's why I'm just trading. This is strictly chart analysis, strictly trend line trading, price action, dynamic trend. So we've got this massive rally that we've had the last month and a half that is just driving me crazy, and then you've got this break of structure that happened at the beginning of the week, and a new channel that has been obviously forming on our 1 minute or our 1 hour. So you can see this touch. You've got this constant up here, new channel that's trying to form. I drew this channel actually in line with our midterm upper band, and that's why I believe that we're about to touch that zone sometime today here in the next 30 minutes to an hour, and then start this kind of slow kind of roll back down until we get here. And this is January. This crossover right here at this exact point, this is January 11th at 3 p.m. So power hour on January 11th. Let's put a flag there. I'll call that one too. Sometime here. Power hour, January 11th. There you go. So that would be what I would consider the retest zone and a possible continuation of the bull market into 2024 after earnings comes out. You've got this really big 1 hour resistance area or support level, and that's a long-term level. That's one that's going to be pretty consistent. So that meeting up with this channel, the price action going to be this is going to be pretty clear. So my opinion is that we end up down here and we push back up somewhere here over the next month and a half. So we definitely need to retest this high that we just hit going into the new year. The market needs to test this before it can make any definitive decision of where it needs to go over the rest of the year. And if that is a retest of this and pushing upward, then we're going to just continue this. The market only goes up rally and trade that. However, this could be the start of a pretty clear double top. And actually, if we pull out into a day, where are we at? The daily chart on the YM. Yeah. So I mean we're in the stratosphere right now. We're not even. That's the messiest chart ever, but we're literally in the stratosphere. So this thing has to come down. This is the most ridiculous move I've ever seen in my life. So there we go. So then back here on the 1 hour, you can see where I had been trading for the last 4 years, and we are all the way up. Nothing can stop it. It's all the way up. And this is why I think we're going to come back down here and test this. We will see some kind of big move down with a massive break, or we're going to see some kind of big move up. And again, this is what January 10th, 11th, and 12th. Right? 12th. So this end of week is going to be a pretty big move. Nothing happening. Still waiting. Let's see. What did the peeps do today? Oh, whoa. Come on over to see what Patrick Whelan did today. It looks like he's trying something new. Pat Whelan is now currently, looks like he's doing a combine or a challenge with a new firm. Take Profit Trader. Oh, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. All right, so TOPSTEP might be last year's news if Patrick's made the complete move. Although I haven't watched that video with him, so he might just be testing the waters with something new. I don't know. He's always doing something crazy and new. Still nothing. 1 minute, 1 second, and 11. Here we go. Touch it. 11 a.m. Come on. I need to be done here. Nothing going on. Look at this move. So this is more confirmation of weakness for me. Like, all of this is bringing this market up, but the consolidation here in the next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in the next like 10 candles, this is going to start curling. You're going to start seeing this curl into the upper trend line and a push back down. So we're going to this moving average, the short-term moving average, is going to actually start pushing up. It's going to find this line. We're going to cross over back down, and it's going to continue while the price action comes down until you get a rollover. You'll start getting a rollover and a downward trend back to our lower trend line. On top of it, look how extended MACD is. This is just weak volume. Momentum is kind of lost here. Here's a crossover on the 1 minute. This right here, this is, so now you can kind of see what I'm talking about with the spaghetti models. So now you got this weak curve. You got a nice weak curve pulling over. You got a crossover in the short term. Now we need for these to cross under this and start a divergence here. This is the convergence, right? Consolidation, convergence. What we need is for this price action to settle down and for it to start moving these moving averages below and stacking them under for the move back down. Looking for the move back down. I'm gonna need more coffee on this one, man. This is brutal consolidation. I'm gonna have to do something different. Can't just waste my day watching this market move sideways. All right, I'm gonna be right back. Give me 5 minutes. Love you too. All right, I'm back. I had to get a chomps. If we're gonna wait for this thing, we're gonna wait for it with chomps. Still 11:05 in. New 5-minute candle. This consolidation is brutal. Man, there's literally nothing freaking going on. I mean, this consolidation is absolutely miserable. We cannot take a trade in this position. We've got a rollover on the 1 hour. So you got this 1 hour rollover. So this is definitely wanting to come back down. So taking any kind of long beyond this zone is ridiculous. And a short position here right now would also be ridiculous. This short position still has not touched this zone that we need to do. We needed a hard touch of this trend line before we could take a short. There's just too much risk that this market continues to go up today. And this 5-minute moving average has no chill. It just crossed the 600, and that's pretty bullish, man. So that I want this to come back down and touch the lower part of this channel. I can't trust it. I mean, it looks like it wants to, but until 11:30, we're not going to do crap. Right now all of this right now, this consolidation. This is London session peeps, rebalancing so they can get out and go see their family, do dinner. Until that settles down, we are stuck here with nothing to trade. We do have this momentum here, so this 1 hour crossover, this is important because that's some serious weakness, or it's a sign that we're going to consolidate for the next 2 days. But these two charts, the 5-minute and the 1 minute, and I'm looking at the Dow company, so this is the YM futures. You can see where it wants to go, and I trade the YM because it is slower moving. I don't like how erratic. I mean, let's go over here and take a look. ES is probably doing the same thing. See, this is ridiculous. So I could trying to trade an ES contract right now. You got to be out of your freaking mind. Trying to trade an ES contract in this is doing the exact same thing that the YM is doing. It's just you're going to be caught up in these massive swings up and down, up and down. You're not even going to know. Look at this back and forth pattern. I mean, there's no reason or rhyme to this. This is just a consolidation area, and if you take a short right here, you think that it's going to continue to kind of do this chop. Take a short scalp, take a buy, scalp, take a short scalp, and it's just going to chop around on ES. NQ is probably the same way, just a little lower. Yeah, so NQ has actually got some momentum coming up here. NQ looks good. NQ looks real good. I mean, we're starting to see a little bit of weakness here, so this might start to roll back over on the 1 hour for NQ. But this actually looks pretty tradable. Let's take a look at this. So we've got 1 minute. 1 minute is crossing over. This is pretty good. I actually really like this here. So this is strong. This has got tons of strength built into it. There's no sign of that going down. We're still looking at some heavy upward momentum on the MACD with no sign of consolidation. On the 1 minute, you've got a MACD crossover. This is a pretty stout trade all the way up to the 600 moving average. I might take this contract here with a really tight stop. Let's take it. I like that one. I really like this. I'm going to take this trade. So let's go and set up this. I'm just going to take 2 contracts. And my stop loss again is going to be super tight, but I'm going to take this because I think it's going to push. That was a limit. Dang it, I missed it. Well, that was a crap trade. Man. Can't believe I did that crap. I did not get the entry I wanted, but I want to be out here. which is 534. That's where I want to be out, so I'm going to put that in place as a hard out. We're going to watch this roll. So here's why I took this trade. If you were watching this, I've been watching the YM for a while. So YM has been slow and nothing has happened. Right now it's starting to push. Are we going to hit the zone on the YM? Look at that. We're in the zone here too. Dang. All right, so we're going to watch this one too, but finally got some freaking actions. We're on the NQ. This chart looks way better than the ES or the YM today. And so you can see this is a clear move up. You got the 1 hour that's still ripping on its way up here towards the gravity line, the 600 moving average. And then you got this 5-minute runner. So this is pretty solid. So you got to push through on the 1 minute. Let's close all this crap out. Why do I have all this open? So you got this push through on the 600 on 1 minute. So that's a strong confirmation of our trade. You've got this dip and a confirmation of going up. So you got a 5-minute candle and a 5-minute moving average that have crossed over. We're above VWAP. And you got this midterm spaghetti, this midterm resistance, dynamic resistance levels that are starting to curl back up and come in line. So you're starting to stack. You're starting to stack here, and everything wants to come up and meet this 600 on the 5-minute. Here we go. We're into some profit for the day. I'm liking this. I'm going to let this thing run for just a little bit longer. We'll see where this thing is headed. Right now, so we're in some pretty blue skies. We're looking for consolidation here. So this could be a support here, possible bounce, and a possible bounce here. VWAP, upper VWAP bomb. So we'll see what goes on here. I think we're in for a little bit of a run. I think we're in for just a little bit of a run. I'm gonna take it. Might close out over 400. We'll see. I'll let this thing keep running. So this is possibly a first target. Actually, this is going to be my target. I'm not even going to let it run to the 600 moving average. I think it probably will touch that today. But I'm going to be pretty happy here with just snagging this profit and getting the meat inside the hamburger and leaving the bun to everybody else. There's 440. There's some profit. 530. Yep, let's go. Come on. Pretty happy with that. And I'm going to take this off the table if this candle does not keep pushing. So I'm looking at 1 minute right now. I'm looking for this. If this shows weakness on the backside, I'm getting out. Otherwise, I'm going to let this thing continue to go. I'm going to take 700. So there we go. Took my profit. That's it for the day. And just like that, money is made for the day. We have now doubled our account again. Well, not doubled account, but we made 600 and 600. So what's the final for today? Let's go to account summary. That's it, man. I don't think I need to take anything else. So 613 for today, 631 for yesterday. I'm stoked on that small loss earlier in this live stream on just kind of a risky little setup. But this was the setup right here. This was exactly what we were looking for. We got this clear line of gravity it wanted to go to. Took the trade in, took the trade out, and this might run, and I'm going to let everybody else in the whole entire stock market just enjoy the rest of that move. I'm happy to take my little $613 for the day, which is what? About $100,000 on the year if I make that? I don't know math. Let's go. What is that? Let's just do 630. If you're making 630 and we do about $150,000 a year. So if we do 630 thousand or $630 a day, or $600 a day. We're gonna be over a six-figure salary for the year, and that is going to make us very happy. We don't want to do anything else to screw that up, because $600 a day is way more than enough to meet our goal, which is to buy a house by the end of the year with our trading profits. That's enough to pay for a mortgage. That's enough to pay for the flip. That's enough to pay for all of the fees for the real estate. And ultimately, that's the end game this year, is to take the money that we're going to make in this TOPSTEP account, roll it into a bank account with Chase, show all that work, show all those monies, and then go put an offer in on a house and put our hard work into some actual real life real estate that we can hold forever and make a lot of wealth. And that's how wealth is made, is through real estate. You can try and change my mind, but you'll be wrong. So that's it. So I'm going to be happy with the $600 in profit for the day. I'm going to go do my other things, which is a few more businesses, sending some email, and I'll let everybody else enjoy this move up. Actually, let's go and do this. Let's take the... Before we leave, let's minimize this. I want to check out the YM and look at our levels, because I imagine we just blew straight through that level. But man, did we hit that zone. I am 5 minutes off of the freaking, I'm 5 minutes away, 5 minutes off of the zone that we just set. I don't know what else to tell you. I do not know what else to tell you. But we knew this was going to happen. Here's the push through. And this is what I said, that freaking FOMO all day long. For the rest of the day, we're looking at it up here now. So if you're going to continue trading today, you got two options. Your options now are going to be this target up here. Consolidation, you're going to be looking for something up here. Or you're going to be looking at this trend line, a long game. So you're going to fade this into close. Boom. You're going to fade this into close. So this is probably the end of the day. This is what I would anticipate if I was going to stay in the market. I'm not going to do that today. But here's the line. I'm going to touch up here, and then we're going to come back down here for the rest of the day. Something like that. Yeah, so good luck with everything. Happy with the 600. Let's do this next day. Tomorrow is Friday, and we'll have some fun then. Until then, I will see you on the other side.